Hi there, I just wanted to show you a quick and easy way to make thank you cards or business cards or any kind of cards on your Cricut machine. They're good for popping in orders and things like that. So the first thing that you're going to do is go over to shapes, pick a shape. I'm going to use the square shape and I'm going to unlock it at the bottom. So then I'm going to set my own dimensions at the top, which are going to be 8 by 4.5. So that's 8 centimeters width and 4.5 centimeters height. And then the next thing you do is lock the box, so that those dimensions, even if you make it bigger on your page, you can go back to those dimensions at the end, so you don't need to worry if you make it bigger now. So I'm going to change that to white to make it easy. You can have any colour you want, make it colourful, bright, whatever you want to do. I do have my logo somewhere here, so I'm just going to pop that up. I'm going to put that on the front. As you can see, it's going behind, so I don't want it to go behind, so I'm going to click Arrange, Center Front. So this brings it to the front of my card. I'm just going to play around with the sizing of that. I'm going to keep this card quite basic for now, so I'm happy with that. Next thing I'm going to do is pop some text. So I'm going to add my text and I'm going to write thank you for supporting our small business. So I'm just going to use a different Arial text for that, nice and basic. So thank you for supporting our small business. I don't want that all on one line, so after supporting I'm going to hit enter and write the rest in under there. Once I've written that, I'm going to make it a bit smaller, so change the font size to 12. As you can see, that's quite small, but that should be about what I'm looking for. And I don't want the writing to be lined up on the left, so I'm going to go up to alignment and click center. Then the next thing I'm going to do, I've got a little Facebook logo already uploaded, so you can, again, it's going behind, so you need to go to arrange, center front, and pop that where you'd like it. So just going to decide where to put that. Then the next bit I'm going to do is another bit of writing. I'm going to write snap tag share. So I'm going to do this all in capital. I'm going to put little space lines between it, just so it's nice and bold. And I think I'm going to change the colour of that. So first I'm going to change the font to 12. Just pops it so it always disappears to the top. Not sure why that is either. And then I'm going to change the colour to a colour to match my logo. So I'm just going to find that. Won't be a minute. So I've got a bit of colour on there, and then the next thing I'm going to do to show people how to find my Facebook page, I'm going to write Springles Crafty Fun at the bottom. So I'm just going to keep this again in the same text, just because it's easy for you to see and visualise. You can play around with this as much as you want. You can add lots of pictures, colours, shapes, whatever you want in that piece of card. So imagine it as a piece of card, that's your space. So making a bit of a spelling mistake there. So Springles Crafty Fun, I'm going to pop that underneath. Now what I want to do is make sure all those things are lined up. So I'm going to click the first bit of writing, and then I'm going to hold down my shift key. And I'm only going to select the other 3 items I want to line up with that. So it's going to be the Facebook logo, the snap tag share, and Springles Crafty Fun. So I want that to be lined up. So I'm going to go up to align and center horizontal. So that will line it all up nicely. So I think I'm going to move that over a bit. Actually, I think I need to move the whole box up a little bit. So just play around till you're happy. So the next thing you need to do is from the top, highlight the whole page of all your items together. Now what you can do before you do this is group it. That's fine, so nothing moves. And also a good point to save your project before you go to make it, because sometimes I've lost projects because it's frozen or done something a bit silly. So I'm going to do that again just so you see from the top. I'm going to select everything, and then you're going to go down to the bottom and click flatten. This means that it's flattened the whole design, ready for you to do a print and cut. But we also need to remember to go back to our dimensions. So if you go up to width and click 8, it should automatically change it to 4.5. So now we're going to click make it. You don't need to duplicate it on this page, just go to make it, and I'll show you how to make extra copies in the next part. So the next part, you're going to click up on project copies and you're going to click 10. Then you're going to click apply. So this then gives you 10 copies on the piece of card. So you can see that it's got a black border on the outside, that's your print and cut, and it's going to cut 10 copies of this on one piece of card. So I'm going to press continue. send it to the printer if you hasn't already. Then you will come to the bit where you select your machine. Sent mine to the printer. Once it's come up, you need to set your material. A lot of people use heavy cardstock. That takes you up to 270 GSM, which is good, but I actually prefer the heavy watercolour paper, which takes you up to 300 GSM, and I like to use that on the Morse setting, and it gives you a really good clean set. So you need to load your piece of card onto your mat and pop it in your Cricut machine. Just popped it in the machine, just waiting for the C to flash at the top here. Press the C button, and then what will happen is it will go in and it will start scanning the boxes. So it has a look at the box at the top. Just make sure it knows where the box is. You can see it's scanning for the black line, both sides. Back up to the top again. So it just checks various measurements all the way around to make sure that when it cuts, it knows how to cut. Okay, so that is ready to cut now. It knows where to cut, and it will just go straight into cutting. As you can see, it's cutting each business card out. I just wanted to show you the finished product. So obviously the piece of card is cut out. It looks like window panes, and these are your cards that have just simply popped out. They're a really good cut on that setting. And they're just nice to pop in with your orders, or if you wanted to make business cards, hand out at craft fairs, anything like that. So I hope that that was useful, and if you have any questions, just leave them in the comments below. Thank you. Bye.